We got a caller on the line. Who do we got calling in?
Hey, this is Brian.
Hey, what's going on, Brian? How's everything, brother?
Hey, everything's good, man. How you doing?
Not too bad, not too bad.
I'm actually trying to add Travis to this call right now.
What's going on, Travis? How are you?
Really good. How you been?
Good. By the way, good afternoon. I understand you were a late riser today.
Oh, yeah. I usually go to sleep when the sun's coming up, you know.
So for those listening in who are wondering what we're doing here, why don't you tell them where they may have heard you before?
Well, I'm in This Moment, and I was in a band called Flatline for a while before In This Moment for about 6 years, singing for them, and then I went back to bass when I joined In This Moment, and decided, you know what, it's time to start fucking screaming again, so...
We saw a couple of things that you had posted online, and it sounds amazing.
We just got to speak to Logan a little while ago, as we're trying to put together a group of interviews here for you guys and promotion for the new band. I remember running into you, last time I saw you was at the Paramount when we were here within This Moment, and had just finished an interview with Maria and Chris. You were coming up onto the bus. Why don't you tell us a little bit about everything that's going on, how it's coming about, how you're back into having your own creative influence, and how it feels, and let's go from there.
Right on. Yeah, it's, this all came together super fast, super flawless. I guess, the stars kind of aligned, really. I put something up online, and Brian hit me up and said, dude, I'd be totally down, do some work together and that kind of thing. And I was like, you know what, I totally miss singing, and now, I'm totally down for that. And the funny thing is, everybody that's involved in this project as of now has worked together at different times, except for me and Brian. So it's almost funny. It was like the circle that was just missing a piece for it all to connect, So once me and Brian got together, like the whole circle came together, and within 6 weeks, this whole record's done, completely, recorded. Everybody's in place, and it's almost like super ironic the way it all came together. I don't even know how I didn't know Brian from, prior bands and touring and that kind of thing. And he was in Skinlab, and Flatline did some shows with him. We never even talked. So
back in the
once
day,
we came in contact, it's like, everything just came together. So fast, and we're all super excited about this project, and I'm stoked to be singing again. I love playing bass, obviously, but I've been a singer for a long fucking time, and just took a huge break, so it's good to be able to kind of get back into it and kind of have my cake and eat it too, be on both sides.
Absolutely.
So. Well, yeah, for those of us that see you within This Moment, most of us don't even know that you have a mouth. With all the mess, so
exactly.
It's great to know that you can sing and that it's coming out again. It's great.
It's like the polar opposite. Like, wow, he has a face and a mouth, and he actually makes noises out of it.
Who's that dude?
So now, where would you say you guys pulled most of your influence from this? Is this basically just all the things that you've been involved with in the past, and you finally said, hey, let's just take a little of everything and what we want to do and just throw it all together? How did this all come together for you?
Honestly, like what Travis was saying, how I reached out to him, I just happened to see some little clips of him singing again, and, like I said, he mentioned that we were back in the Flatline days and Skinlab days. We had done shows together and never really had a chance to talk. And during the time where Logan was in Europe with his band, I had mentioned to you guys before, Skinlab had set out to record the record with Logan when he got back. And certain people in that project weren't giving me any feedback on this track that me and Logan had done. And it was just kind of sitting there. And after I had reached out to, Travis about what he was doing, I was like, hey, man, I got this track that me and Logan recorded. Let me send it over to you since I'm not getting no feedback from the other guys. Maybe it's just a better fit for what we might want to try to approach. And I sent it over to him, and he tracked some vocals, and I fucking loved it. I was like, oh, fucking A, dude, wait till Logan hears this. So after Logan got back, and I presented to Logan, I was like, hey, man, you're going to be, I kind of just threw it out. He had no idea what we had going on while he was in Europe. Travis had sent me some more ideas, and we were just kind of sending ideas back and forth. And I told Logan, I said, hey, man, I got this whole thing that's been happening over the last few weeks. And, basically, just like Travis said, it's been kind of flawless. It just kind of happened. Planets were aligned accordingly, and it's all coming together. Everybody's influences, we've been, I don't know. What do you think, Travis? Pretty much a little bit of everything in this record. Yeah, definitely. It's very diverse. Yeah, the heavy stuff is kind of ingrained, from my upbringing with metal and Testament and Pantera and Slayer and all that stuff. But, kind of from branching out and getting older and enjoying good choruses, good songs, and strong song structures and whatnot, I've kind of come to appreciate
melody and that kind of thing as well, you know. And like you mentioned before, as far as Limp Bizkit and stuff, I've always loved the rap rock genre and just the tongue-in-cheek kind of funness of it. So we kind of took everything that we were influenced by and kind of put it into this project, you know, and just kind of not really pigeonholing into any specific thing, doing what feels right, you know, and we're all super happy with it. I mean, there's elements across the board that I think everybody's going to dig. We definitely dig. So,
yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of people pretty surprised, honestly. I mean, there's going to probably be a lot of people that think it's going to be a super heavy record and this and that, but there's so many different elements that are involved with this record, with all the different people, you know, especially with Logan being involved. It's been amazing to work with him, you know, having him help to co-write a lot of stuff, and he's bringing a lot of ideas to the table, and it just all seems to be working. And then we were able to bring in Matt Snell, you know, have me and Travis, after we started talking, and then after I got Logan, let him know kind of what was going on, and said, hey, man, we want to do this. We're ready to start a new project. Matt had hit us up on Facebook and was like, hey, call me, you know, and me and Matt had been talking over the last 4 years. About 4 years ago, me and Matt had connected after he left Five Finger Death Punch. We started talking, and I was writing some music, and he was writing some music for his other project, My Acumen, and we had got together a couple times. And, you know, he was doing his thing, I had my thing, and it wasn't meant to be at the time, and he went and pursued My Acumen, and I, you know, pursued other things, and here we are 4 years later, and like Travis said, everybody's worked together other than me and Travis, so it's kind of weird how me and him started coming up with this whole idea. Matt was on board. He heard the music that we were sending over. He was completely stoked about it. And then there's Chris Hamilton, who, going back about a year or so ago, was going to possibly be the new drummer for Skinlab. And I flew out to the East Coast to jam with him, and right away we had connected and felt like, hey, man, we got to do this. And things didn't fall into place like we wanted them to with the Skinlab project, so you know, we had kept in communication over the last year, and when I brought this to the table, I said, hey, I think I got something for you that you might want to be involved with. Once he heard what we had going on and he saw the momentum we had in such a quick period of time, he said, count me in, and then there you go. I mean, everything was just, and like, it just meant to be, it feels like, and we're super, super stoked on how everything's going.
Well, I would imagine that any album that you can kind of go through in 6 weeks, get written and done, is you know, a very inspired piece. So I would imagine that, you know, this is all meant to be, and it's aligning for reasons. You know, you guys all seem to have met for the right time and the right reasons with an album that writes itself that quickly. You know.
Yeah, it's pretty surreal, to tell you the truth. I mean, when you look back over the last 6 weeks, it's like me and Travis. I think it was December 11th. To tell you the truth, I think it's when the first email of Travis sending me a song, and I sent him the other song I had back. That was the first time we started talking, and here we are, just beginning of February, and all the music's pretty much tracked. These guys are flying in tomorrow, and, you know, I figured probably beginning of March, mid-March, we should probably be completely done with the whole entire record.
That's awesome.
And at that point, just keep pushing forward and
now
making some shit happen.
Is the plan basically, once this is all done and wrapped and released, to just basically tour the shit out of it and try and get out there as much as possible? You're going to hit the festivals? What's the plans for after the album is released?
Yeah, definitely, you know, tour as much as possible. Basically, any gap from in this moment, we're going to do the Invidia as hard as we can. So basically, I'm going to be on the road continuously forever, which is great.
Right.
So, yeah, we're going to definitely present it as what it is, you know, a real band, a real project. The record's going to speak for itself, and we're going to do everything we can to get it out to the people and tour as much as possible and, you know, give it hell.
Now,
Exactly.
with having such a grand stage show within this moment, with all the props and the costume changes and everything like that, is this going to be more of a stripped down, straightforward stage show? Or are you looking to go big with this? What can we expect?
You know, we haven't really gone too deep into that. I would imagine it'd be a little more scaled down, but you never know, man. What's up our sleeve? We might, you know, come out with fucking bombs and fire. You know, you never know. But
well, that's what.
Yeah, we really haven't. Yeah, we haven't put a whole lot of thought into that
there.
quite yet. We've been focused so much on getting the record done, but you know, as the record gets finished and we start rehearsing, and you know, I think it's all going to present itself. What's meant to be is what's meant to be.
And why don't you tell us a little bit about where the name comes from for the band Invidia?
Let me take it. All right. Well, Invidia, one of the 7 deadly sins, and it's the eye of envy. So she was a goddess that basically was super envious, full of hatred and stuff. So it's almost a tongue-in-cheek as far as using the name in the opposite sense of don't live in envy and be confident in with yourself, and to live accordingly, you know what I mean? Don't live through envy and jealousy and that kind of thing. So by using the name Invidia, to me, is more of the opposite of what Invidia stands for, is to not be envious to be confident in yourself, to be strong, and move forward, you know, in a positive light in life kind of thing. So, you know, we were just kind of looking around and throwing ideas around and stuff, and we wanted something that wasn't kind of a metal name, if you will, that just comes across as just like, yeah, fucking, you know, Death Burial or some shit. So,
we were trying to avoid all that if all possible. There's just way too many metal bands nowadays with these you know, you can't even, like, read their logos, and it just becomes this big batch of just nonsense.
I said you didn't want a band name that looked like a bunch of kindling in the woods?
No. Or even better, the pseudonym. I think we were talking about, like, you don't want to show up, you know, if you guys are going to go play undercover one night, it's going to be, was it Golden Cobra? Right?
Golden Cobra.
Golden Cobra. Kind of like a secret show, midnight showing. If you want to go see these guys, you got to watch out for Golden Cobra.
Yeah, that's our Limp Bizkit.
That's the code name.
Yeah. With all the elements that we were talking about, too, we're so kind of diverse in this record and stuff. We wanted to leave the name. I wouldn't say even me and Brian kind of had the idea of, like, the Deftones, where that's not, it doesn't give you any direction thought of what the music's going to be. It's just what it is. You know? So we're so open on our influences and what this record is and all the different elements to it that it kind of needed to be a name that was soft and not too, you know, not pigeonhole us into any kind of feeling of what we are, because who knows, the next record might be even more in one way or another.
Thing is with the music too, and once the record comes out, it's going to even make much more sense with the name and the music, because you can't, if you listen, once you hear these songs from beginning to end, there's going to be 10 songs on the record. I mean, it's like so diverse. I mean, there's some rap rock stuff, there's some more radio rock stuff, but it's all on the heavy side of things and the heavy element, but it's so open and diverse. We don't back ourselves in the corner for any specific genre. You know, it's obviously all of our influences, and there's going to be the heavy, and we're obviously the metal guys, but there's going to be, like I said, a lot of surprises that people probably won't expect from us once this record comes out.
Like you said, again, full creative control on what you guys want to do. And
well, you got us salivating over here, that's for sure. We're dying for a taste of this CD, I'll be honest.
And
we're dying to let you guys have a taste. You know, once the bass and the vocals get done, we actually have an interview set up, a pretty big interview next week here in Vegas with a bunch of radio broadcasters over at the Hard Rock Hotel that we got set up. And we're hoping maybe if Logan can make his magic happen, maybe get a nice clip for even that interview. And hopefully by that time next week, maybe if we can get that together, we'll send it over to you guys so you guys can promote that if you guys get an
that'd be
opportunity.
awesome.
That'd be great.
that would be great.
Yeah, we're definitely looking forward to seeing you on the road. Travis, I wanted to ask you, you know, we spoke about, you know, what your stage show might look like, and I know that it's a little too early for you to kind of contemplate, but with being in this moment, I'm sure with all those props and everything, you probably have a pretty decent story about goof, maybe we'll call it, a stage prop fail that might have happened on the road that was a good funny one we could put out, you know, go the wrong way that just ended up being funny as hell.
Well, there's, you know, I'm on a riser. So I think it's a 3-foot riser.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So there's wheel locks, you know, and there's been a couple times where, you know, in rushes and quick changeovers and whatnot, where the wheels wouldn't be locked. And then I'm up there, you know, dancing around, trying to be cool, you know, and, you know, I'm kind of like wheeling around on a moving platform, you know, so, and that's always really weird, because you go one way and you scoot 3 inches to the left, and then you fucking dance the other way and you go 3 inches to the right, so that's always kind of a fun thing. But as far as, you know, we have such a good team, pretty much we don't have many prop malfunctions, you know. There was one time where my step didn't get put on my riser, so I came out to walk up and there was no steps there. But that's little stuff, you know. As far as malfunctions, I mean, we run pretty smooth. So.
Yeah. I saw you guys the first time I was introduced to you guys was in 2012. You guys did the Uproar Fest, and I caught you in Pennsylvania at the Toyota Pavilion. And you guys on, like, the little secondary stage, but it was an amazing show. And then I saw you again when you did the Sirius release of the Black Widow album. And it was just amazing to see the transformation go through of you guys had, the, you know, basically the platform the last time, and she had the skulls and everything. But to go from that smaller stage to this grand show that you put on was amazing to watch the transformation. It's really impressive.
Awesome. Thank you so much, man. You were always trying to push it, you know, make it bigger and better than the last time. It's kind of the direction. It's always move onward and upward with it, you know.
Absolutely.
And what are some of the bands that are out there now that you're listening to and filling your playlist?
God, I change my mind every other day when I'm listening to it. I don't know, man.
That's all right. You can tell us all of them. That's okay.
To be honest, all that's really been on my playlist this last month is our record. I mean, to be honest, I've got pretty much been 24 hours a day, either recording or listening or playing back our tracks and just trying not to, you know, have any other outside stuff. I mean, obviously, I listen to other bands, you know, all the time. There's some of the obvious ones that we listen to, but that we all listen to Non-Point, you know, Gemini Syndrome are good friends of mine. I listen to them because I love their
they're
music as
awesome.
well. But I mean, I listen to all the heavy shit too. I listen to Hatebreed. I listen to bands like Morbid Angel. I love Limp Bizkit, and even though I know Travis doesn't want to admit it, he loves them too. Trying to get Fred to collaborate with us eventually.
I mean, I'm on a Shinedown kick myself. I mean, I listen to on Spotify. I put it on shuffle play and listen to Shinedown for hours on end.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fred's voice is just ridiculous.
What do you think of that new CD?
What's that?
What do you think of the new Shinedown?
Oh, it's absolutely amazing. Everything is so good. His voice is great. The hooks all over the place. It's just absolutely amazing. I mean, you know, touring with them, I wasn't even that familiar with Shinedown when we first did a tour with them, and then it was just, man,
Yeah.
it kind of took over my brain, you know, and huge fan, amazing, amazing band, amazing people. So, yeah, they're huge. You know, I listen to Limp Bizkit, Eminem, you know, believe it or not, a lot of heavy shit, and Shinedown. I mean, and then our record, like Brian was saying, I definitely been listening to that daily, you know, beating it in my head. So
Well, you'll get to that point, I'm sure, where you're just sick of playing the songs, because I have a feeling this is going to be a big CD for, you know, to come out.
Yeah, we're pretty excited about it.
You guys have a good jump. You know, like we were saying, you're already walking into a fan base of people that know you from each one of your own respective bands. So it's not like you're gonna struggle and claw your way all the way out from the beginning. But there's people who are gonna know you, so you have that instant boost.
And that's a good thing about it. You know, there's always going to be those skeptics out there that say, oh, these guys are all these other bands. It's just going to be a joke. And there's going to be the haters out there that, you know, but little do they know that the music's going to speak for itself. You know, but the great thing is, like you said, we have, with Travis being in this moment, Matt, you know, being formerly in Five Finger Death Punch, one of the biggest bands on the fucking planet. You know, Chris has been in Downset and Blood Simple, me, Skinlab. There's a lot of built-in fan base there, and it's been great. Even our social media page. I mean, what we started, Travis, like just about 4 weeks ago.
yeah, about that.
But yeah, I think he did the Instagram page, and we did the Facebook page, and it's been, I mean, the traffic we're getting without even having a song released yet, and the feedback we've been getting has been pretty overwhelming. I mean, everybody's positive. Everybody seems to be stoked about, you know, what we're doing, and yeah, we're excited because once we're able to release something, it's really going to be a
Warm
big deal. I'm pretty
reception.
sure everybody's going to be loving it.
Awesome.
And by the way, again, what kind of tracks, you know, if there's anything that you would get out there, what would you like to, what would you have us play for you? Do you have a stronger feeling for maybe one song more than another? What have your favorites been so far?
Oh, gee, that for me, I can't say. I mean, to be quite honest, and not just I'm being biased, but I love every single song we have so far. I mean, they're all so different, but I mean, I have a couple specifically that I can't wait to play live, but it's just really, it's hard to say my favorite. I couldn't really even pinpoint it right now. I like them all.
Yeah, definitely tough because it's still, we haven't heard the completely done product yet. Lyrically, I would say Making My Amends is one of my personal ones for me.
Yeah, I got to agree with that for sure.
You know, but as far as what Brian's saying too, you know, you don't know until kind of the whole piece of work is done, and you can kind of sit and absorb it. But you know, lyrically, in my personal standpoint, yeah, Making My Amends is a real special song to me. I know it's going to go over awesome live. You know, it's straightforward and in your face and
Very catchy.
you know,
Good.
yeah, it's a great tune.
Project is, for me, it's what I'm most proud of right now. The stuff that I've done in the past, you know, obviously I'm still in Skinlab. You know, whenever we decide to get that up and running again and do some shows, that's all good and dandy. I think there's going to be some shows that possibly might come up in April. Being in stuff, I mean, you can put up any of the Skinlab songs, and that's always a good thing.
Awesome.
I know at one point too, we might even mention, you know, like kind of, you know, Chris Adler right now, he's playing drums for both Lamb of God and for Megadeth, and they're touring together. Do you see it possible maybe doing a little bit of, you know, support for In This Moment and doing a double duty, Travis?
I mean, you never know. You know what I mean? You never know what can happen. You know, of course, that would be absolutely ideal.
Sure.
You know, absolutely. But
So when we air this interview, I'd like to, you know, throw something on that you're most proud of. What would be a track that you would want people to hear that maybe you think didn't get enough attention, or maybe it did and you just want to hear it, you know, you want it to be out there even more?
yeah, that is a tough question.
Well, because they're all like your children, but, you know, we all have our favorite child.
Right. I mean, there's a track from In This Moment that was a single that kind of isn't very relevant now, but I'm a huge fan of the song. We don't play it live anymore. It's off the Dream record. It's called Forever. Oh, super awesome bass line in it. Super catchy. I love the tune. It doesn't fit with what we're doing, you know, now, but I would say that song. It's a personal favorite of mine.
All right, cool.
Is sick. I mean, But yeah, I would definitely say probably Forever off the Dream record.
Yep, I got a hold of the old Flatline CD myself, so I was checking that out today on the way in, and I got to tell you, I liked every single track. So,
Sick.
it was pretty good. That was my warm up, getting in the headspace, knowing too that we're having this phone call today and trying to check out some of the older stuff, which actually you had worked on with Randy Wiesel and Logan Mader. Like I said, 6 Degrees of Separation. So I'm going to include some of those tracks tonight when we re-air.
Right.
And yeah, thank you very much for calling. I definitely appreciate it, and we will be out there as soon as you guys are ready to get on the road, and we'll come support you on the East Coast.
Awesome. Yeah, you guys just let everybody, all your listeners know they can find us on Facebook, on Instagram, and yeah, we'll have some new music for you guys real soon.
All
Awesome.
right. Great.
Thank you very much, guys.